Welcome to the DJ Insider Podcast, sponsored by Amplified Events.
It's the only podcast where we break down insider information from our weddings, experiences, and advice from over 15 years in the wedding industry.
We're your hosts. I'm Mike Kane, owner of Amplified Events.
And I'm Chris Zart, general manager of Amplified Events.
Let's get into it.
We are back.
That's right.
Back in the New York groove.
Yes, coming off of a pretty wild weekend. I just had one wedding.
Same?
Did you? Okay, you just had one?
Yeah, just one.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about yours.
Yeah, I was back at Velpo Journeyman, which was great. I got to be in the West room this time. I was in the East room 2 weeks ago.
Do you have a favorite, or they're both good?
I kind of like this one. The one thing I'm thinking of is I wonder in the future if we'll end up having, they have this like patio area that goes off of the hall there. So it's really nice to set up like tables, and there's like some cozy chairs and couches and stuff out there. The weather was amazing. Like it was like mid 70s the whole day. And then, once sun went down, it was even better. So, it wasn't a huge dancing crowd. They loved being out there. It was great. I'm wondering if in the future we could get a dance floor going out there. Because I don't know if that like what the power access is like, but there's like a big space. You could definitely throw a dance floor out there. I'm curious if that's going to end up being a thing. Because we couldn't really set up the dance floor near that area. We had to be more towards like the front entrance. Otherwise, people couldn't hear us. We'd have to be, I just thought about it. We'd have to be blasting down the room for speeches, everything. It would have been kind of awkward. So that's where I originally thought dance floor was going to be. It was kind of near that like patio section.
Next to the bar kind of thing.
We were more so in the front, which made a lot more sense for, but I think it depends on how they lay out the room.
With the head
maybe
table
there's a
and
few
stuff,
different ways to do it. But I really liked it. And if I was a guest at that wedding, that's where I would be all night. Like just having the option of like, most places, if you want to go outside, it's kind of like a trek to get there, but it's literally like you open a door. That's right there. So it was a really, just really nice, chill night. I'm excited to be back there.
Yeah, we should look into they've gotten pretty good at wireless configurations where basically you hook up a transmitter receiver from that to another speaker out there.
Yes.
And then it would just broadcast the signal outside. The only bad part is that then they'll just stay outside.
Yeah.
They'll never come inside.
This is we've worked at venues where we're on like a really huge stage or like we're like in a really separated section, and I don't really like being so separated from the dance floor. Some of my best dance floors that I've done, I feel like I'm literally a part of it. Like I'm so close and right there. And I this is the other thing. I feel like I really like smaller spaces compared to like really larger spaces. Yeah. When it's a little more confined and I literally have like people like almost pushing into my setup, which I feel like most DJs would like not like, but I like that. I like being that close, and I can really see what's going on. And I feel like I end up having a better dance floor anytime that we have that kind of layout.
You can literally like feel the energy of the room of people dancing, and that accounts for a lot. Yeah, no, I agree. I just it's something to think about. If people are going to be out there, it's like, what do I do? And I don't know. It's
and I have to ask them.
It'd be interesting to try. And I think that we'd have to charge more for that. I'm a wireless speaker that's broadcasting our stuff.
The technology is getting better though. I remember we had those bows before. We could transmit like across the room. Yeah, it's cool. But
so that's cool.
Where were you at?
Any song? Oh, sorry. Any songs of the night or songs that surprisingly hit or anything like that? Any wild stuff happen?
Nothing too crazy. No.
Okay.
No. Yeah. I don't have any too wild stories from it. But
cool. Yeah, we were at Blissful Barn.
Nice.
Up in Three Oaks. It's honestly like a few miles from their Journeyman Three Oaks, which is kind of funny.
Oh, cool.
And so, Jametta and I got up there and we set up, and it was everything. We did dinner on vinyl. We had Monogram, and they had like it was a video Monogram. So it would do like, it's basically like a 3-minute GIF that we just put on repeat.
Oh, cool.
But it had like a shooting star that like wrote out their names and then did like some like leaf kind of stuff.
Oh, sweet. All like animated.
Yeah, and it was kind of fun too because it was really bright. We're kind of on a back porch kind of thing, so it's really outdoors. And so we got it kind of set up. We had to get like basically use the back of like a clipboard to kind of like get it set because it's hard to see because it was so bright. And then as it got darker, it started to show up. You could see it. And then we open up the dance floor, and we were doing this like 90s set. And we went into and I played All Star because we were just doing, and it was literally like when they're talking about shooting stars.
Yeah.
I point to it and this thing shoots like it's just a shooting star there. And people were like, "What?" And they saw that they thought I did it, you know,
Yeah,
right,
like you
right
timed
then.
it perfectly.
Yeah. I just pointed to it and it did the shooting star.
That's cool.
It was kind of funny. They were dancing next to it like 5 feet away and they didn't see it
Right.
for a long time, even though you could clearly see it.
That's a cool little detail of like, oh look,
Shooting stars, break the mold. Yeah. So that was cool. Super sweet, super nice couple. We were working with Corinne from Marry Me Events. She was just phenomenal, really good at her job, very organized. Yeah, it was a really good night. We had that was okay on record for the shortest ceremony I've ever seen.
really?
Yeah, they had a friend marry.
How many minutes?
Like 2 minutes.
2?
Yeah, I had to. So it was like they walked down, did the song. Everybody got down there and was like, hey, it was basically like, you want to marry you? You want to marry you? Like, you doing this? And it was like that. Boom. Like, whoa, okay. I wasn't even ready. I had to switch the mics
Did
on.
they say like in your meeting, like we're having a shorter ceremony?
They said it was
or,
really
like,
short, sweet. And people always
But,
say
like,
that, but it
but
usually is still 15
minutes.
Yeah. No, this was less than 5 minutes. It was so fast,
That's impressive.
which was cool because it just made for a longer cocktail hour.
Yeah.
Really had an awesome like charcuterie for the cocktail hour, and then we just solid crowd. I mean, it wasn't it was maybe 80 people, but really, really fun. Really great group, good dancing. Everyone was super nice. Groom came up just like, thank you so much. Like, to me, it was like, I'd say it was like a solid 9.5. Like, it was a really solid wedding. And it really meant a lot that the groom was so like appreciative. He came up specially to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So we did have a couple people like, I was like, okay, keep it like ice cream with the mic. And then they're like, immediately. And then everyone's like, we can't hear you. And he's like, oh yeah, like ice cream. And then he didn't move the mic up.
He acknowledged it. He acknowledged what he was supposed to do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. And then he just kept it down there. I think because sometimes people, they hear themselves and they kind of freak out. They don't like hearing themselves, and so they...
Yeah, the people that like they talk correctly into the mic and they're like, "Whoa, I'm loud," and it's like, yes, so people can hear you.
Yes,
like that.
You have to kind of.
I know it's weird, but
you need to ignore your hearing yourself, and you need to project to the back of the room. Yeah.
I think the worst thing for speeches is like when we're doing it right next to our setup, we don't really get as much like latency from like we're speaking, but generally like whatever's coming out of the speaker is pretty much exactly at the same time as it leaves our mouths. When someone's a little further away, sometimes it's like you're talking, but you have a little trail of like you can hear your voice.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I would see how that could throw people off, but
there was also, it was really cute. There was this like, I think they were brother and sister. The boy was probably 5 or 6, maybe 7. And the girl was probably like 3 or 4. Mm-hmm. They were doing a lot of like ballroom kind of dancing, spinning, and then they did the Dirty Dancing lift. She ran up and he lifted her, and I was like, yeah! It was really cool. I wish I'd been playing the song.
I was about to say, was it to the song or was
no,
it just...
No, they were just dancing. They were some of our best dancers. They were just dancing all night.
Who? Like the brother caught the sister?
The brother caught
like,
the sister. I think they were brother and sister, but they were super
That's cute.
And so then they did it a couple more times when they saw my reaction, but I was like, that is so cool that you can see that they've done it before. They've done some dancing. Like I don't know if they took a dance class or they clearly like were doing a more formal style.
Right.
Of dance than you would normally see from a kid that age,
That's really cool.
It was really neat. But yeah, it was a really good crowd. Like you said, it was kind of a small space. It's just on that back deck. We did that one there last year in May. Just absolutely gorgeous venue. And you're right. It's when it's a little smaller space, it feels fuller with less people.
Yeah.
But it was really great. A lot of, like they gave us a bunch of guest requests. I played most of them. It was pretty solid. But yeah, all in all, really, really great night.
Yeah, throughout the night for me, I kept having these like conversations with just people there and like bridal party where like I didn't like meet you, but I just went up to go like grab a water and like Dave took over to like mix, and then like one of the bridesmaids like started asking me like, oh, where are you from? Like, are you married? Like, where did you get married? And I ended up like talking for like 15, 20 minutes. And like, but yeah, everyone there was so nice. It was just nice getting like caught up in conversation throughout the entire night. Yeah, other than that like shooting star one, was there any like other big song moments? Yeah, and then the lift Any other crazy
we got
ones?
it. I got a good set towards the end of the night. It was just pretty epic. We did, I think I did like Timber. I did Shots.
Nice.
I think I did Give Me Everything. We did Hotel Room.
All in that 120 range.
Yes, we did. Do you remember? Do you remember? Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
And then I mixed from that into Escape which is one of my favorite songs. Enrique. You can Enrique Iglesias.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You can run, you can hide, but you can't escape. So good, dude. And then we did Friends in Low Places and
Nice.
Country Roads, whatever, and then closed with Sweet Caroline.
Nice.
But big singing, good night. Yeah, and honestly, we didn't, because we got those requests ahead of time, we didn't get too many. But there was a wedding a few weeks ago where it was like rapid fire. I mean, it was just, they were on us. Like, there was like people in line to make requests.
It's weird how it can be like that sometimes. How you can go from like nothing at all, and then like everyone's asking you.
Yeah, how do you handle that when you get those rapid fires?
Hope I have an assistant with me to like
pull out my nunchucks.
Yep. I mean, there's times where I've literally had to be like, I'm currently mixing. I can only take one person at a time. And I try to like whoever talked to me first. And I'm like, okay, you come here, and I'm like, I need a second. And
I love that. I love that 1 second, because I'm like literally about to mix in a song.
People don't understand that sometimes. Of like, I do, like, I'll have 20 seconds of a song in it, and then they come and try to have a full conversation, and I'm like, I really want to talk to you, but I need to do this really quick, and then I can't. And then they keep trying to talk to me while I'm doing it. And I'm like, I'm not processing any of the information coming my way.
Yeah,
you're saying words, I'm hearing them, but I'm not listening. Not on purpose. I'm just doing my job. Yeah. And I want to hear what you have to say.
Of course.
Just give me like 10 seconds.
I think people don't realize that as a DJ, you're hearing the song that the guests are hearing. You're also hearing the song the guests are going to hear next.
Right.
And you're blending those. So if someone's talking to you, that's a third thing.
Yeah.
That is, you have to block it out.
There are some mixes that I've done so much where like I literally have I can just look at the waveform like on the screen, and I'm like, okay, and then I've talked to people before, and I'm literally mixing as I'm talking, which is just kind of a power move. It is a flex,
muscle memory, or just like, I just know I'm going to drop this one right here at the spot or whatever. It's a lot easier. But there are ones that are more complicated that you just, at the timing, you're counting it off in your head, and you're like, oh, no, here we go.
Right.
And you're also keeping it in line. A lot of people don't realize that, too, that like music will slowly start to get off. You can't, where it'll get out of tune or out of time. Yeah. And so you have to keep it in time if you're bringing a mix in. And I don't know, it's just things, little detailed technical things that really don't matter, but you notice right away when the song comes in not mixed correctly.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds like garbage. And you don't want it to sound that way because you want to throw a good dance floor.
Right.
And so if people are coming up distracting you. But we had one a couple weeks ago where it was like that, and Tremenda was with me, and he's like, I just couldn't believe how well you handled that. I was like, well, it's just, you're just used to it. And they mean well. They want to hear their songs. So I was like, let's just write them down. And I generally try to be, oh, that's a great song. Oh, and if I know I'm going to play it, then I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll definitely play it.
Right.
Or I'm playing it next. Like I only say those words when I definitely play it.
Yeah. I never make a promise unless I'm going to actually follow through with it. About a month ago, I had this, like, it wasn't like everyone's coming at me at once. It was like throughout the night, I got this song, and this song. I probably had, let's just say it was like, I got 12 requests. I played 8 of them, 7 or 8 of them. Sure. So I've like got like 4 or 5 left, and they kind of like missed their opportunity for the time. I was trying to find a way to work them in, but it was, like we said before, I'm never not playing a song out of malicious intent. Sure. It's just doing what's best for the dance floor. And also, the bride and groom gave me like almost 100 songs too. Mm-hmm. So I like had a huge list to stick to. So, I was trying but they said like, we love when DJs play requests. So like, if it's good for the floor, do it. So that was what I was doing. And like, we had 30 minutes left, and those like 5 people that didn't have their song, and they were like not together. Like they were like different friend groups, different families, but they all came up at the same time. And it started with one guy, and he's like, Whitney Houston want to dance with somebody? And then immediately like the 4 other people came behind him and like, yeah, in my song? Yeah, and then it's like that situation of I got 10 seconds long. I'm in the middle of mixing, and I'm like, And then literally like I'm just letting a song like kind of play out for a sec, and then I like mix it, do it, and then finally I'm like, okay, what? Like now I'm listening. Let's talk. But and then I play One to Dance with Somebody. I end up working it in, and then that like allows me to play the other songs, and they're like the biggest hits of the night, which like also kind of frustrates me that I'm just like, you go like we're coming and like hounded on me to play these songs. It's not that, you know, like I said, no malicious intent, but and then I do play them, and it's like great for the dance floor.
That's the worst.
But then we end the night really strong, and it
Yeah.
was like it was a good end of the night. But I was just like, whoa, like I was really, I was working with Cade, and he was like, we were in the car afterwards. He's like, they just like attacked you, like they just like all like rushed you so quick. I'm like, yeah, I didn't really see that one coming, but what are you gonna do? But no, it was fine, and none of them are really like upset, but
Sure.
they were just all
Very
like,
intense.
hey, like,
Yeah, they were gonna like corner you, and yeah,
and it was like, you know, I had played their other requests too,
Yeah.
so it's not, you know, I'm just like, we're trying.
yeah. It's one of those things. I mean, there's a reason why we're not playing it. It's generally never, like you said, it's never to do with that we don't like the song, although sometimes we don't.
Yeah.
But that's not the reason. It's like, you know, they're hiring us to throw a great dance party, and in our experience, that's not going to fit with what's hitting right now. And that's going to change the energy in such a way where it's not going to go well. And it's going to kill the energy. It's going to kill the floor. And we want things to flow. We want that energy to feel natural.
Right.
Later in the night, things are more open up, where people are drunker and people are more relaxed, and they've been dancing for a while. So you can just drop a random, you know, slow sing along or whatever. You can do that.
Yeah.
Where it's not, doesn't feel so abrupt.
I love when I get the opportunity to like do a hard switch.
Yeah.
Because like we're looking for that moment of how can I switch out of genres? But like, yeah, if we play a slow song, that's a great, like, you can go into anything after that.
Yeah.
Because like you're kind of resetting people's expectations of like, okay, now I'm just coming out here to dance with my partner, just chill out for a moment, and then you can do whatever, you know.
Yeah. You really want to be, build energy, plateau, build energy, plateau, build energy. But you want that throughout the night. And so you have a place to go.
Right.
But I think a lot of people don't understand that that's how we kind of design our dance floors. And so when they come up and they're like, oh, yeah, I don't know. Can you think of any of the songs that people were requesting? Generally, you know, it's not that it's a bad song. It's a bad time for that song.
It was like those songs. It was Whitney Houston, "Wanna Dance with Somebody."
Sure.
It was Cyndi Lauper.
Oh, yeah.
Was that "Girls Wanna Have Some Fun"?
Yeah, girls just want to have fun.
But you see how those two songs can like.
They can mix well, and they're both from the 80s. And
I'm trying to remember. So it worked out great because they all came up, and then the bride came up and was like, and I can't remember the song, but it was like a girl power hour kind of like, and she's like, can you play this next? And I'm like, yes, thank you. And then it like I did her song, and it allowed me
to mix
to
all
do
of
the other
those.
ones.
Yes, yeah.
And then the other like 2 or 3 were like harder rap songs, but that's what we were originally doing. That's why it was gonna be like, you want to go from Lil Jon to Whitney Houston? Like I just, you know,
it's a hard
when people
transition.
are like, yeah, and then it's I want to dance.
Yeah.
Like that's, you know, different vibe. So, but I was able to step away, and everyone also knew that it was the bride song because I said, you know, make some noise for, you know, and she wanted the song, whatever. So then everyone was like, that's always a great one. If like the bride or groom asked for the song and then you call them out on the dance floor of like they wanted this.
This next one's dedicated so and so.
No matter what the song is, everyone will be like, oh, this song is important to them.
Yeah.
So I do like to do that as like a tool of just like,
Yeah.
because sometimes you play a weird one and people are like, why are you doing that? And then it's like, the person that hired me.
That's the worst, is when people come up, nobody likes this. Why are you playing this? I was like, the bride and groom said it was a must play, and they told me to play it next. Then you're doing your job. Yes. That's the worst, when people are so mean and they're like, you idiot, what are you doing?
I did have I had the best man and groomsmen that didn't back down from that though, where I was in the bathroom. This was like forever ago. I don't know if you remember this, but I was like in the bathroom. I was by myself at this wedding. So I like I've set a timer on my phone of like, I played like a 4-minute song. So I set a timer for 3 minutes, went in, I'm like, they're like talking shit about me. And basically I played all this music that like they wanted to hear. It was some like Irish music or whatever. And I did like 5 or 6 songs back to back, and they were all going crazy. And then the bride was like, okay, can we switch? it back up to like my list.
Yes.
I did that, and then they were upset about that. So I'm like in the bathroom, and they're talking about it, and then I walk out, and they see me, and then double down, and like I was like, hey, how's it going? And they're like, we're just being totally honest, man. I'm like, listen, I'm like, I understand we had that music too. I'm like, the bride told me like this is the music she wanted to hear now, and then they basically were like, well, she's wrong. Like,
Yeah.
they were like, well, you know, we're just giving you an honest review, and like you should be playing more Irish music. And I'm like, I don't even know. I just laughed. I'm like, I don't even know what to say. Like, you really just said the person that hired me, and the reason why you guys are here is wrong.
I love that. That's what the old man told me one time. I was out in South Bend at like a hotel, and I was playing Drunk in Love or something, or some Beyonce hit, and she was out there dancing with all her bridesmaids and her friends, and the bride wanted it next,
Right.
He's like, turn this off. And I was like, I can't. The bride wanted this. And he's like, well, the bride is wrong.
I forgot about that one.
It's like, oh my goodness. I was like, it's her wedding.
You want to tell her
You're
that?
invited. She's paying me to play, and she wanted this song. How could that? It's not even a situation where there's right and wrong attached. It's it's not a moral issue, Well, I don't like this is what he should have said,
Right.
It's like, okay, well, guess what? It's not your wedding, so it doesn't matter what you like. Oh my gosh.
You're not playing any Bob Dylan tonight?
No, I guess not.
Guess you're playing no Dylan.
Guess we're not gonna get some Dylan.
But yeah, I think this last weekend was one of my few weekends that I'm just working one wedding. It's at least two for the majority of the month, and then October. Crazy times. But then, yeah, basically 2 more months, and then we'll start slowing down again. Do a few Christmas parties. I am looking forward to that. I like that time of year, and like December, January, just doing parties for companies.
Have we talked about when the bride or groom has a different taste of music than their crowd, and how you handle that?
Oh yeah. I mean, I just make it clear in the meeting like what their priority is. I'm like, it's you can only get one of two things. It's either the music you want to hear or a good dance floor. Like, what's more important? Which, like, I've had times where they either then, back down the day of, where they're like, well, no, play our music. But then I've had them literally come up and they're like, do your thing. Like, that has happened before, where they're like, they kind of expected, oh, everyone's going to dance to the music I'm listening to.
Yeah.
But it's not very danceable. Then they change their mind. And I've had also people that they just want to hear their music and they don't really care about a dance floor as much, which is hard, because when a lot of people go to weddings,
They're expecting that music.
they're expecting it. They're expecting a dance floor because it is a part of most
What do you mean
weddings.
no cha-cha slide?
Right.
What are you talking about? We do it at every wedding.
And that is an even funnier one of like, yeah, that was like 2 weeks ago of like, they were like no line dances and they like put like 20 in the do not playlist, and like every person at that wedding was begging me for a line dance. And I think the bride actually caved because people were bothering her about it. It's like I didn't even know people were bothering her, but she came up and she's like, just play like cha-cha slide or whatever. Like, everyone wants it. Just get it over with, But I think just having that conversation ahead of time of like, what do you want? Like, because that's what we'll get. And I'm fine doing it either way. I'm fine doing a good social hour and just the music you want to hear. That's totally cool. But yeah. But I try and have that as a really early discussion so they just know what's going to happen.
Same. And just being honest, it's like, it has nothing to do that you have good or bad taste. It has to do with like the kind of stuff that people are expecting and people respond to at weddings. And sometimes that aligns really well with what you said you love music-wise. Sometimes it doesn't. And I always say, like, is it okay if something's not hitting, if I mix out, go to something else?
Right.
And, my priority is to play the music that you love and play the music that your guests are responding to. That's it. This is not my personal taste in music. This is not about how cool I am or look at how tight these mixes are. I just want to throw you guys a great dance party in using my experience. And you have to balance the taste of the couple and the taste of the crowd.
Yeah.
And the best is when you can kind of do that so well. And it's even better when they really understand their crowd. The couple does. It's tough when I don't like it when they'll give me like 1,000 requests, but I also don't like it when they give me like 2.
Yeah.
Because then I'm like, I have no idea what, based on these 2 songs, I have no idea what you guys really like,
I also, doing like sales for the company now too. I really like try and find like people that we want to work with. And I really try to explain like, I've had couples that give me 1,000 songs. I've had couples that they really want us to do, just our thing, and they really don't give us like any information, which, like you said, is kind of frustrating because you like to have a little something to go off of when you're going in. So I just tell them, I'm like, the best weddings I've done is when it's a collaboration, when you can give me music you love, but you let me do my thing of like just reading the room. Because, you know, a playlist could be good today, but like, is it going to be good this day? Who knows? It depends on the people, the, you know, overall vibe of the night. So that's like our job, is just knowing when to play that song, you know, what song to play, song selection, all of that. But yeah, I think the best is like when we meet in the middle, when they can just give us enough to work off of and stuff that they really love, and they know that their crowd will love, and then just let us do our thing.
Yeah, it's just it's a balancing act. It really is, and you know, we do the best we can. There's nothing. We're not trying to do a bad thing,
right?
But it is not as easy as people think.
No.
People are like, "Oh, you dumb idiot DJ! You don't even know. You don't know what good music is." I'm like, "Trust me, I do."
And the direction of our dance floor can also change without wanting it.
Oh yeah.
Just of like, we could have the couple come up wanting a song that completely goes in a different direction, and like we've talked about before, we're planning sometimes 10 songs ahead of like, I'll be like, oh, I can mix this song, this song, this song. And then it's like, you know, we're doing all this rap and then they want to hear like some Aqua, Barbie Girl. It's like, okay, it's like time to reset. The plan is completely changed now, which is fine.
Then you get that big pop, you know, everybody, like people rush out there and you're like, oh, you guys really like this. You'll get more.
That is great.
You know?
When they make the good call and they're just like, just drop this song. And I'm like, okay. And then you do it and then it works out great. You know, sometimes that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Though, and then you have to rebuild. It's even more frustrating if I've had times where like, and they're not meaning to, but it's just like, you know, we're trying to get the dance floor going and then finally you get them, you know, and then we're going for like 2 or 3 songs and then hey, can you play this song? And it's like, oh no, like we're about to lose them again now. Like I just worked so hard to get you guys here.
Yes.
But yeah, no, it is, things can just really, there's a lot of curveballs in this job and things can totally change. And yeah, it's just like the best of the best are just flexible people, the people that know how to adapt and just still make it happen with those crazy changes.
Yeah, you think about it, we're really like surfers. You just got to kind of read the waves, how they're coming in, and you just got to ride them. You can't stop the wave from happening. You know, people are going to dance or they're not going to dance. And so you have to kind of find how and when will they dance, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just later. It's just it's going to break late. You can feel it. I know the first hour is going to be rough. But then the last hour is going to be awesome, you know?
Right.
You just know it's going to break. It's going to break late. Or, you're going to ride it in and it's like, this is just really rocky right now. There's a lot of really weird wind patterns.
Really
we got
like
country, we got pop over here. You know, it's just, there's a lot of little stuff. We're pleasing a lot of little, you know, but I haven't built.
Oh, no, a shark.
Yes, right? Yeah.
That's a guest just like rushing
coming up.
You.
Yes. Yeah. But you really, you can't really control it. You're just guiding the energy,
right,
and just directing the board to a certain way. But you just want a nice flow. And
Should we have DJ surfer names now? I don't know. I've been looking for a DJ name.
That's it. DJ Hang 10.
Johnny Utah.
That's a good one. Pipeline. But yeah, it's not an easy thing, but it's so fun. It's so rewarding. But yeah, there is that flexibility piece to it that I think a lot of people don't know about. That it's like, oh yeah, we gotta. Yeah, I guess I do have to play the hamster dance, and that should not have gone as well as it did,
right?
You know, like because sometimes our instincts are off because it's just we don't. There's some inside information with that crowd that this is their youth group song that they would dance to.
Well, it kills me too that when I don't know about that, and then you know, like the day of the wedding, I find out like the couple, and which I'm glad they tell me, but like the couple will be like, oh, this is a huge tradition, playing this one song for like everybody here. And I was like, I could have done that like earlier, you know, but I'm glad you're telling me now. Yeah. But like that could have been a huge, you know, and it was an epic moment. Like that could have been totally missed if I never knew. Yeah. So that's like, I really try and ask like any special traditions I really want to know.
Yeah. What's your going out song or what's your like party song? And you like, you always play in the car with your friends, anything like that, you know. So. Well, yeah, it's another week. In the books. This weekend, I think, will be pretty busy too. Popcorn Fest weekend. So
yeah,
it's going to be wild. Road's closed, so prepare ahead.
Yeah.
Drive around.
True. Yeah, luckily I don't have to go far on a Saturday. I'm at Four Corners Winery in Valpo.
Oh, so nice.
Pretty short drive.
Cool.
Not too bad.
Hopefully the weather's nice for you.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be great. It looks like it's good right now. So
Sweet. Yeah, I'll be in. It's called Two Brothers Roundhouse. It's up in Aurora.
okay.
But it's cool. I did a wedding back in 2021 for this couple, and it's basically the bride's sister.
Was I with you? Because that sounds really familiar.
I did that with Mark
Okay.
Tremblay, actually.
Then never mind.
But
it just sounds. I mean, maybe I just know it from booking or whatever.
Sure. But yeah, super nice couple. It's going to be really fun.
Nice.
Again, the full package and printing, so it should be a good time.
Cool. Yeah, and then I'm at White Oak on Friday.
Oh, nice.
And then Sunday I got a little tasting at Velpo Journeyman.
Oh, triple header for you.
Yeah, but yeah, that one's a chill one. That'll be nice and easy.
Sweet. Well, yeah, I don't have too much else, so we'll wrap up.
Yeah.
And I'm Mike.
I'm Chris.
And we will see you on the dance floor.